Man, it's hot in here. It is hot. My Mr. Otis is here with me, you guys. Otis, you want to come up here? Whew. Say hi. Alrighty. Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. If you haven't had a chance to watch the video that I did with Rose, please go ahead and check it out. I had a one-on-one conversation with her about her life living in the UK, her thoughts on the royal family and Meghan Markle. She gave some really good advice, and as some of you may or may not know, Rose is an African-American woman who has managed to make it work for her over in the UK, being married to an aristocrat. So it can be done, and we know all the drama that we have been seeing with our famous couple. They just drama, and they got an agenda, and they're just trying to do things to make money off the backs of the royal while throwing everybody up under the bus. So check it out and get some, see what Rose is saying about how they could have been better, how they could have done things. It is so inspiring. It really is a good message for people to see how it could have been done, and also the responsibility that Harry's wife had coming over to the UK in this new role, what she could have done to really have made a difference, and how she should have gone about her role, because it was an important role that she just did not manage to use her platform in a way that was admirable. And very good advice from Rose, so check it out. I wanted to talk about one of Princess Diana's friends clears up Meghan Markle's claim that she had received no royal training. Now, we know that that Oprah interview was filled with all kind of lies. And for me, it's really shocking that someone like Oprah would be involved with a couple who have lied so much, because their character at this point is really not looking very well, because their lies have been debunked. And Oprah and her brand and what she stands for is all about your truth and, you know, being the best you and holding people accountable. And, you know, when someone show you who they are, believe them, kind of a thing. But is she going to listen to her own advice? Is she going to listen to the things that she has been speaking about over all of these years, and to really have a friendship with a couple that is going against all the things that Oprah herself has stood for? It really puts Oprah to the test. And I hope that she makes them accountable for their lies and how they are treating their families. Because at the end of the day, stand up for what you believe in. Make this couple accountable for the actions and things that they have done. So Princess Diana's friend and voice coach had spoken out regarding Harry and his wife, their exit from the royal family. And he had compared the Duchess of Sussex's experience to her late mother-in-law. So Meghan's struggle with the monarchy had been likened to those of Prince Harry's mother, Diana. I can see the similarities, but at the same time, there are a lot of things that make it not so similar to even come close to some similarities. Okay, you might have like, okay, what? They women. Okay, that's a similarity. They women married into the royal family. Or you could say they didn't come from impoverished homes. That's a similarity. Mr. Otis. The voice coach, Stuart Pierce, spoke to Us US Weekly. She said there was no guidance to her given on how to act as a royal. He found the similarities of their personalities and the way both of the women introduced themselves to the royal family. He said it was extraordinary from the very beginning. From 81, Diana was really not given a tremendous amount of advice. And it's sort of within the royal family, right? It's assumed you will either grow through it or you will sink. And, you know, to me, it says there's no similarities. There's none. It's like one did it this way with these set of circumstances, and the other one did it this way with their set of circumstances. One was forgiven in how she came into the circumstances, and one came in as a skank in her circumstances because she had clear motives and objectives into this royal family. Diana didn't. She was a young, innocent, sweet 19-year-old virgin. No life experiences. fell in love with a much older man, got used, taken for her youth, taken for what she could provide for the royal family, and then essentially dumped. And, while her husband went on carrying on an affair that he had been doing before they even got married. Now, knowing the story behind Prince Charles and Camilla, I can understand their love story and I can appreciate them wanting to be together. So at this point, I can't really fault Charles too much, but at the same time, considering that he has a bigger role to play as the king, he should have grown into what he knew his responsibility was and just been with his wife and forgave or just, forgot about his long lost love, Camilla, because he had a bigger role to fulfill. Okay, so that's my opinion about that. So Mr. Pearson, there's no similarities. Mr. Pearson then says that the Duchess was given very little advice. And this is the thing, how much advice do you need to be given when we live in the age of information? You can Google any and everything you want. You have access to the books that Diana left when she was here on the earth, that she secretly had written about her life behind palace walls. If you are going to marry into a family and there's been a precedence already before you, you do your research. And Harry's wife is not a stupid girl. She is a very wise, conniving, calculating woman. So, of course, she would have had to have known what she was getting herself into. I'm sure as an actor, she knew what she had to do to become an actor. Why wouldn't she know what to do to marry into the royal family? Like, people who try to make excuses and to say she was a victim, y'all can go kick rocks, because there's no similarity to what Princess Diana was marrying into the royal family and then Harry's wife. You just can't compare the two. And I think it is, to me, I think it's very... Excuse me for a second, but I had to stop the video because I saw that I had something on my shirt. I'm like, what is this? Is this dog slobber? Am I sweating? I don't know what that is. I don't know, but it's a mystery. So hopefully it's not too much of a distraction, but I was quite taken aback from seeing something then splattered on my shirt. It's disingenuous to try to say that Meghan was the victim of her circumstances, because it was reported by her friends in the book that Andrew Morton wrote that she wanted to be a Princess Diana #2. She wanted to be it, and she knew that she could just connive her way into the redheaded's life and swoop him off his feet, because he ain't got no life experiences. He's been living in a castle his whole life. Okay, he had 10 years in the military, but he was still secluded in the military, in the environment of the military, which I'm sure he did learn a lot, but he didn't have those real life experiences on how women can be conniving and how they're going to try to come and connive their way into your bedroom, Harry. And that's what happened. And he wasn't ready, and he wasn't prepared for it. He got swindled and he duped. And he is essentially trapped. And he don't even know he trapped. He think his brother and his father are trapped. No, Harry, Prince Harry, you are the one trapped, my friend. And then I like how most recently the announcement of Princess Beatrice and her husband, they are going to be having a baby, and they had it announced on the 3rd anniversary of the famous couple. And was that planned? I don't know, but I think it was awfully convenient to make that announcement on a day that held significance to our infamous couple. Good for them for doing it, because you have been at this point so just used and abused while being in the royal family with all the other things that this infamous couple have connived with. It's about time that they start dishing out some of the things that have been given to them. It's like you can't just constantly be beat up and shown that, people are going to walk over you when you're in the royal family, because this couple can just do whatever they want to do and make their own rules up. And so having this announcement on this infamous couple's wedding anniversary, good for you. I'm glad, because we know that she made the announcement about her pregnancy at Princess Eugenie's wedding. Now, who does that? So good for them. And then we also know about Harry's latest comments on his podcast. Once again, the lies and the conniving from this couple. Because Prince Harry said that Meghan was the one that had persuaded him to go get therapy. Well, didn't Meghan say she couldn't get therapy in the royal family? We've got people who are listening to this infamous couple as if they are speaking truth. But we have seen the proven lies and the conniving. At what point do you say, you wrong, you lying, and we're not going to put up with it no more? At some point, people who have reputations need to stand up and say this, especially if you are working with them. Especially if you're working with them. You have a duty to do that. Because you know that a lot of people are not on the inside or understand all the things that are happening with this couple to really know that they're lies. They're not catching it within the regular news cycles. But if you have information to suspect, well, wait a minute. Didn't you say? And didn't this happen? No, you lying. Like, you need to say something. I have kitties here. I'm having them do a project for me right now, so please don't mind the noise. So the disparities between this couple and their lies, Oprah has to speak up. People have to see lies have been told, and people need to speak up, and they need to make it known. Because you got them coming over here now to America conniving. And what's up with Mr. Harry Windsor coming over here talking about our First Amendment? Like, you coming over here whining, complaining, and yet you complain about the royal family, and now you're going to step your feet on some foreign soil and going to have the nerve to complain about what we do over here. Look, you know what, Harry Windsor, we ain't putting up with you. Now, I was willing to put up with you when you were across the pond, but don't come over here into America on our soil and start talking smack. We ain't gonna have it over here because you done ran away from your problems. Essentially, that's what he did. He ran away because he couldn't handle people not liking his wife. And I beg to differ that they didn't even like his wife. She put up with maybe some things most people who are going to put up with things. There's just going to be negativity in the world. How are you going to put up with it? How are you going to walk in your circumstances of confrontation or of difficulty? Are you going to run? Or are you going to persevere and stand up for what you believe in? And essentially, this is not what Harry Windsor was able to do. He felt like he was not able to protect his family and the land in which he grew up, in the place in which he was born, the place that was most familiar to him. He felt like he did not have a stronghold on the protection that he needed to care for his family in the place that was most familiar to him. But he thinks he's going to walk into a foreign country and be all discombobulated and disoriented about where he's going, what he's doing, his job and everything. And he's going to also be able to protect his family in now this foreign environment. That's crazy. Essentially, that's like me going to China with my family and just saying, look, we ain't going to America because people are racist in America. I'm going to move my family over to a foreign country and we're going to get along over there. Not knowing nothing about the customs, the language, because, there are differences in the language. There are differences in the way we do things. We have a common language, but lots of differences. So it just is not even a believable story that they are trying to tell to the masses about their reasons for being in America. It's all so disingenuous. And to continue to listen to the lies and to listen to what they are trying to be about, the contradictions of helping people, but yet treating your family like dirt, the disingenuous behavior that Harry's wife has with her own family. How in the world do you think people are going to take heed to the things that you are trying to do and give you credibility? You taking us for fools in America. Essentially, You taking us for fools if you think you gonna come to America, talk about how we do things here, treat the people where you came from like dirt, then come over here to America, complain, be a victim, and just try to piggyback on the backs of all these celebrities here in America and just be like, okay, we're here to do our new life like us. Like us. We were treated badly. We've got money, but we are victims at the same time. No, I'm not feeling you. I'm not feeling you. All day long, I'm not feeling you. And not only that, you know, this whole thing with mental, you know, you don't, the side of me you don't see, whatever this thing is, this thing with Oprah that Mr. Harry Windsor is doing. First of all, try having those problems when you come from an impoverished background. And then let's just times your problems by 10 and then see how you get along. You got the nerve to be complaining about your issues being a millionaire. And I believe that people who are millionaires have problems. I know they do. But the gall and the audacity to complain about your mental illness and self while having millions of dollars in the bank is a slap in the people that got real problems emotionally and ain't got a dime to get by with their bills, to get by with the basic necessities of life. And they got to hear you whining about your problems. Like, people don't want to hear that. They really do not want to hear that. Be justified in your problems. Go to your psychiatrist in your private room with your really good health insurance. Have your problems and discussions in private. Don't try to come over here and make money off of that nonsense. Because it's nonsense when you're trying to do it for political and also financial gain. Talk about your problems. Because people cannot relate to you. You cannot be relatable because you come from a background that is so just off the wall different from the majority of people that your circumstances have to be bottled up and dealt with in a different kind of a way. That's just the way it is, Mr. Windsor. That's how I see it. And then the nerve to have a photo of him at his mom's funeral for financial gain in the commercial, the promo for Oprah Winfrey. Like, when do you put your foot down and say, okay, there are certain things I'm not going to tolerate when it comes to the death of my mother? Harry has gone all backward, sideways in his values and the things that he's putting up with because he has been duped by a wife that has swindled him and he don't even know it. And it's dangerous for people like him to try to have a platform, financial gain platform, to do something credible with people who are really suffering. People can't relate to him and his issues and his problems. He and his wife have been found out. We see what they are about, and they can just go kick rocks. They can go to Timbuktu. They can just leave and go have your quiet life like you said, because we don't want to deal with it. You have given too much problems and causes of division and entitlement, and your fans is crazy. The people that try to support you, they just as racist as anybody that may have been racist to his wife. They stand for nothing. They have no values. They have no standing. They have no sacrifice. They have no commitment to do the things that they need to do, because it's so very easy to do the things that you want to do. But it's so much harder to do the things that you really don't want to do, but you know you should do. And they are not doing the things that they know they should do. So what are they doing? They are taking the easy road out. They were like, too difficult? We're just not going to do it. Difficult? Not going to do it. If you are a person of good value and standing, if it's difficult, you know it's the right thing to do. You persevere, you do it because it's the right thing to do. And it's not about it being hard for you, because you are a leader. You are making the sacrifice to be put on this pedestal of a platform to set an example. But the example that they are setting is one of devalued, disingenuous, lying and conniving, perpetrating people that want the easy road to success and popularity and financial freedom. People have worked their whole lives and struggled and had to put up with so much opposition that they're not going to let a couple like this, who then connive their way into their circumstances by being victims, to come in and just have rule of the world. And the people that that coddle them, the people that come and show that we'll work with you despite the lies and the things we know about you, like, yeah, I know about you, but I'm gonna work with you. Those kind of people, they need to be just canceled. Get rid of them too, because they are the ones helping to bring this couple to a place where they don't need to be brought on this, in this brand of marketing that they are doing, because it's misleading and to me it's dangerous. It sets a precedent to people that you can swindle your way through stuff, not really work hard and get everything you want. Because people will still work with you when they know that you conniving skanks. That's what they are. Like, they have no values. And they don't want to be put up with anything that is going to put them in a position of suffering or pain. It's like, I can't respect you. This is all I'm going to say for this video. But so much has happened. And to me, the bigger issue is that the people that bring them along in this journey in America and do not oppose the things that they have done, knowing that the lies have been debunked, the things that they say don't even make sense, how they've treated their loved ones and their families. These are the values and things that people need to stand up for and say, enough is enough. Goodbye. Goodbye. That's what they need to say. Until next time, goodbye. See you later. Peace and love.